I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day who's dating new guys. She's online and she's trying this whole thing, and she ended up being intimate with one guy, and he's the "did you come" guy. I hate those guys. Did you come? Did you come? If you just would shut up.
Megan Thee Stallion has a line in her song. She says, "Don't ask me to come because you know I didn't. Like, you have to ask me, you know I did."
Exactly. It's like, and the guys who ask, it's like, I think you're asking out of insecurity because clearly you're not able to get me there. So stop asking me that and maybe ask me what is it going to take or what do you need,
Or
right?
close
Instead
your
of did
mouth.
I do it?
Just explore
It's
each other. Just
something.
explore. Yeah, no, I could talk about this for this. My second book I'm writing is all about this.
Okay, okay, so we're going to have you back for sure. But this is the catastrophe, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that we need to be honest about women speaking up and taking time to explore and making so, and then here's the other thing. We're in this very sensitive time with men's sexuality. And so straight men, the men that I deal with are straight, and they're very sensitive about rectal play and, things that get too close to what they might consider being, homosexuality related or
Exactly.
paralleled or a lot, anything related in any way, shape, or form, they're nervous, they're scared. And so I think you have to also make the safe space for straight men, for those of you who are looking for straight men, to know that it's okay to relax and do some of those other exploratory things that don't have anything to do with sexuality, but just enjoying the connections that your body has already created with. So,
1,000%. I think you
yeah,
even back to taking that back to little kidness. Like, you have a straight male, lie down. Why don't you just rub his head?
right,
Why don't you just like give a little ear massage,
right,
hand massage? Let's take it all the way back to this sensuality.
right. That's
We're,
what we're
we
missing.
Foreplay is communication, actually. If you think
Mm.
foreplay is oral sex, you've already missed the foreplay. And
You could have
women
got
are
the six,
all
seven, and
here.
eight play. You missed the four. Start
That's
with the
right.
four and count your way up. You know what I mean? Lord, child, we need you. We need you, and we need the work that you're doing. Okay, so this conversation has been amazing. We have been going for a while,
I know
but
we're
I
all
love
over the
it.
place. We have to talk. We'll talk offline about this.
We'll talk offline, but I think this is going to be so juicy and so stimulating for people whose brains are going 1,000 miles a minute around. I keep making the same mistakes. I keep seeing the same patterns in my life. How do I fix this? And at the end of the day, it's never going to be fixed until you acknowledge what it is that's going on with you and start there.
Gotta
Because
feel the
unfortunately, you
healing.
keep bringing the same the same old pair of shoes into the new relationships. Burn the
Yes.
shoes, girl.
You gotta
Get
feel
new.
it to heal it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So at the end of the day, how do you, as the author of The Joy Strategist, what do you say to people to sum up how to get started? Because I think that's where people are stuck. How do they start? Because once you start, this is a rabbit hole. This inner work business will take you a lifetime to get going. You'll never finish, right? But once you start, that's the slippery slope. That's where you want to be, and you just slide and ride it for the rest of your life. But I think it's the how you get started. So what is your advice on how to get started for people who are looking to buy a new pair of shoes, to be a new pair of shoes, you know?
Well, the way you start.
It's a heavy question. It's weighted.
Oh, it's actually really simple. It's the way you start is to just take a minute and get honest with yourself.
Mm,
Take a minute, take a walk, sit down, start doodling, draw, and start to feel into if you didn't have to make another cent ever again in your life, if you didn't have to speak to another human, what would bring you joy? Like,
right.
what would feel good to you? And it's just starting to actually hear yourself, start to listen to yourself, feel yourself. Look, when you pass a mirror, make eye contact. Just meet yourself.
Right.
Just start to get to know yourself and feel how you feel. Then the second step is little practices around that. And sometimes it's hard. You can
Yeah.
do this. Sometimes I had a client who could not access one positive thing about themselves. So I said, let's sit down. Let's come up with three people that you really trust and know have your back. And when we came up
Right.
with, I said, send them each a text saying, can you tell me one magical thing about me?
Yes.
So we know how to do this for other people. And if you don't think you could do this, what would you say to your friend? What would you say to your
Mm,
mom who was having a hard time, your sister, your brother, your lover? Like, the people that you do have kindness for and spaciousness to help them on their journey, start to look at how you help them and just do one or two of those things for yourself.
mm,
That's it. Like, You have the model. You know how to be
Yeah.
kind. You know how to take care of someone. You know how to nurture someone. You know how to help someone grow. You know how to help someone feel better when they're sick. Well,
Right.
do that to yourself.
That's
Start to
it.
enter those practices and put them on you.
Put them on you. It's man. It's giving man in the mirror for me. That's what's coming to mind. I'm like, it's man in the mirror. Come
Yes.
on, Michael Jackson. It's man in the
With
mirror.
kindness. With
Yeah.
kindness.
With kind. Right.
You know
True.
what to me gets tricky because people go in the mirror and they're like, "Oh, you're this and you're ugly and you're
Right.
old."
Your hair. Look at
No,
your hair and your eyebrows ain't
no, you
matching
go to
and
the
blah blah
you,
blah.
you go to the mirror and you say, "Thank you for helping
Yeah.
me walk around every day. Thank
Right.
you, hips. Thank you, feet. Thank you, eyes, for still working." Get to the function if you can't get to the, just small little bite-sized chunks. And then if all of that doesn't work, here's what I want to say to you.
Right.
Your number one job, everyone's number one job on this planet is to be their own CEO, their own
Mm.
chief energy officer. It
Ooh.
is your job to make sure the energy around you, and if you think energy is woo-woo, you're missing it for convenience because you've been somewhere, a restaurant, someone's house, where you walked in and you were like, no, hell no.
The
That's
vibes
energy.
ain't right. Right. So
So
that's the right. It's vibes, aka vibes, people. If you're not getting the energy part.
that's right. And you listen to yourself. So that is a wonderful heat seeking missile way to start. Walk
Mm.
around life that way. What do you want to eat? No. Because if we do that, you look at the menu,
No.
the first voice is your God voice. Stick to it. The first voice is your heart voice. I want pizza. Oh, but I'm fat and I shouldn't have this. And I should just start to use your scavenger hunt your life like a GPS by
Mm.
making you the chief energy officer of your own life.
I love
Anything
that.
energetic. And if it's uncomfortable, God, why do I feel so energetically not good around my daughter? It doesn't mean you're bad or they're bad. It means that there's unfinished business.
Right. Wow.
Conversations we
Oh.
have. And you know what? Write a letter if you're not ready to talk. And you don't have to even
Right.
give it, but just write it to yourself so you even know what's going on. You
Right.
don't have to
Right.
involve others, but just start to make a curiosity practice of you.
I love that. A curious. Yeah. Every day, learn something new about yourself.
That's right.
What do you
With
love?
kindness.
What feels good? What doesn't feel good? And be honest. And then have the courage to be clear about that with other people. Because I think what happens is we don't tell other people when we don't feel good or when we do feel good, and then we don't get the things we want, and you're wondering why you're stuck. It's like
There
you
you
didn't
go.
say anything,
Oh, you
you
did in
know?
here, but not here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You've got to articulate that in the best way possible, kind and considerate, but it's okay for the CEO of you
That's right.
incorporated to get the things you want.
And one more thing about that, it's like a lot of
Mm.
people feel like it's their job that they have to make sure other people are comfortable and they don't want to say things.
Mm,
You're not their God. So
right.
if you do trust any version of God or any version, if you're an atheist, any version, universe, spirit, alignment,
Whatever.
then you understand that they have their own path. And
Right.
you can't decide that your truth is not necessarily also good for their path. Because when you're in your
Mm,
truth, what's good for you in truth is good for everyone in your world, or else they're not in your world.
right. Right. And it's okay to repel the things that are not supposed to be there. And I think
But it's
that
your
if
job.
you're in, yeah, that's your, and it only happens when you're present in your most authentic self. That the
Yes,
ones who are supposed to be with you will be magnetic, and the ones who are not will fly like oil and water. They'll just go.
that's right.
So, and you need to be comfortable. People are just not comfortable with that. I'm like, everybody doesn't need to be with you, around you, near you. We got to let that go, people. It's okay.